Hello, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are. I'm here in Los Angeles, so it's good morning for me. Welcome to my weekly Facebook Live. I'm Jen Burson. I'm the founder and president of Generation PR and the creator of Generation Academy, the Profitable PR Pros community. And I just want to welcome you. Thank you so much for joining my live. We're going to have a nice discussion today around success tips that will help you improve your agency and your life. Who doesn't want that? Can I just ask, there's somebody that's here. Can you let me know what my mic quality sounds like? Because I always have issues with, I just went back to my freestanding podcasting mic. It's always problematic when I do Facebook Lives. Can you let me know, does my sound good? Or is it like tinny or echoey or blah, gobbledygooky? Just anyone. And then I'll jump right into the content because I just, we use the recordings here. Oh, good. Who's Facebook user? Chrissy, is that you? Because it doesn't on my end say who it is, but so glad to hear that. Okay, good. Hi, Serena. I had a feeling you'd be on here. Yeah, that's great because we repurpose. If I don't have a chance to re-record the content for the podcast, we repurpose. And I've been listening to the podcast. Yes, I know it's dorky. I listen to my own podcast, but I like to hear how the episodes sound after they're edited. And the quality of the audio is really trash. And I feel like if I were on the internet and randomly came across the Pitching Powerhouse podcast, I would be like, get this girl a freaking microphone because she sounds terrible. So I'm glad to hear that it all sounds decent. Okay, I am like tangled. I'm a tangled mess here. How do you wear two necklaces on the regular without tangling? I cannot. Those little like Amazon clippy things, they don't work. So here we are. Okay. Hi, welcome to my weekly live. Okay, good. Hi, Petra. Oh, good. You're here. I'm so happy to see you. I'm glad you could join us. I love this topic. I love all these topics around, connection, like success tips that'll incorporate strategies to improve personal, professional, all of it merging together because I see, people talk about work-life balance. I don't know if that's the right word. Everybody's like, balance is BS. I think it's more like work-life integration. I think that your work should support the kind of lifestyle that you want to have, both with your income, the time that you have to sort of manage your own flexibility and freedom, and also the opportunities that it affords you in your personal life. Like, running my own business lets me go pick up my kids. I dropped my kids off at school today. My older son has a late start on Thursdays, so we had like a little coffee date, and I didn't get back to my desk until 9:30. And so if I were at a job, it would probably be problematic to get in at 9:30. Or I'd have to account for where I am. I think that sucks. When I was an attorney, if I was not at my desk by 8 a.m. at one of my law firms that I worked at, there was somebody in the front that would watch people come in and she'd say, good morning, good morning, good morning. And you would think, okay, cool. She's like, she sees me. Or let's say I'm there at 8:10 and she's smiling and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get in. And no, 8:01, an email goes out. Jennifer, my maiden name, is not in the office yet. And it's like they would say it so that people could keep track of people that were in court that day, or if you needed to borrow a resource or meet with somebody. It felt very much like they were calling you out, like you're late again. And it was just like, ugh, I hated that. I hated having to account for every minute of my time, literally down to the 10th of an hour. When you do billable hours as an attorney, it's the worst, right? And that's why I do not recommend doing hourly. There's a million reasons why no hourly projects or hourly hourly work. But I see the mic. It's hitting a little bit of like promise me it's okay. Like the sound quality is okay. I think I can futz with the settings a little bit if it's like weird, because I see it's like green and then it goes like red, like it's blowing out or something. But I don't want anybody to keep track of where I am, where I'm working, what I'm doing. So I just love the idea of your work being able to support flexibility and freedom and your lifestyle. But the other aspect of it is your relationships, connections with family, connections with your children, your spouse, your partner, and also your friends. And we know that as an agency owner, as a business owner, we're always focused on growth. We're always focused on growing your business, growing your revenues, looking for new clients. But that isn't the sole focus. It shouldn't be, because if you ignore your personal life in favor of this grind, then you're going to get burnt out. You're going to sacrifice relationships. And that's not what I want for any of us. So it's all about that work-life integration. And what you do outside of the office, it has a major impact on your energy levels. What is going on? What the oh, okay, hold on. Let me quit this. There's like, I updated and now there's like sounds. There's sounds coming out of my watch, sounds coming out of my phone. I don't like sounds coming out of anything. Okay, that's on silent. Let me just silence this. I don't know what the deal is. Focus for an hour. Okay, do not disturb. I hate it. I want it to be like quiet and silent all the time. I don't want anything making any noise. So all of a sudden there's like little alerts because I updated my operating system. So we're going to talk through ways that you can be more connected as you're growing your business. So what we're going to cover today, what you're going to learn, are 5 powerful strategies for growing your business without sacrificing your personal life, your connections with friends and family, how you can develop a confident and courageous mindset in the office and at home, and what that actually means for you, and why having clarity around your purpose is so important to help you achieve that work-life integration. Okay, so those are the 3 main things we're going to cover today. Let me know how that sounds. The sort of rough outline are these 5 success tips that are going to help you improve your agency and your life. So if you're new here, so Serena, who's on here, is going to be joining us in our Elevate coaching program. And this discussion is based on the 5 benefits and the 5 outcomes that we're going to cover inside the program. So we want you to have, quick wins here and great takeaways you can implement right away. Okay, so as digital agency owners, we're always growing. We're always doing something, going somewhere, working on all the things in your business. So it's whether it's our, building a team or your agency, or like I said, your client pipeline, or even focusing on ourselves. This constant growth and improvement is the name of the game in entrepreneurship. Yay, Serena, I'm so excited too. Let me know. You can message me on Instagram too when you fill out that application, and we'll set up a call next week, and we'll do a little session together, which I'm really excited about. So we always have stuff we're working on, but you can't ignore, year of growth. And when I say that and you say that, it's personal, professional, emotional, purpose-driven growth. It's not just like business growth. So there's way more that goes into this sort of work-life integration, and we can't ignore your personal life in the process. So the best way to reach your goals and make life shifts that will last is to extend them past your professional life and into your personal life. That's what we're hoping for, our lasting change, lasting impact and benefit. So what you do outside of work, it has a major impact on your agency and how you are going to function inside of it. And we want any changes we talk about to last. So I have 5 of my very best tips for improving your life and your agency at the same time. The first one is where you really should start, and that's why we're starting here, and it's get clarity on your why and your values. Your why and your values. As an entrepreneur, we work hard. We work so hard. Things are up, they're down, the economy, COVID, all of these things, they've had a major impact. That's where we've been, okay? We had this uncertainty, then we had this like we're living in it. That's where we are. We're now in the action phase. That's where Serena is, year of growth. This piece of your why, that is everything. It is your purpose, it is your guiding light, and it is your reason for moving forward when the going gets tough. And now moving into this next phase where we are now in this kind of post-COVID, yes, it's here to stay, it's endemic, but now the reality of, the economy and COVID, all these things, we're in it. It's no longer an if, it's no longer a when, it is now. So we have to take action in our lives and our businesses right now. Like we're going all in here. So I want you in this new phase, this past the what ifs and past the oh shits, basically. Now it's like, okay, here we are, settling in. It's time to rock. I'm ready for my year of growth. I'm excited to focus on my business and myself again. Feeling satisfied and fulfilled in your business and life is really tough if you don't know what it is you're working towards or why. What is your why? And this goes for knowing your values too. Nailing down what matters most to you as a person, as a business owner, service provider, an agency owner, that is going to help you make decisions that you can feel good about no matter the result. And when you know your why, you're doing what you're doing, so you know the reason why you're doing these things. You can bounce back from obstacles quicker. You can stay motivated along the way. And not knowing your why will lead you to making decisions on a whim or letting setbacks get the best of you. You'll be like, well, that freaking sucked. And you might not have that inner engine and drive to move you forward through these setbacks or take longer to rebound from them. And there often will come a major disconnect between yourself and your agency when you don't have a really solid understanding of your why, your purpose, and the values that are important to you. Let me give you an example of this and how it just came up for me personally. Well, my why, there's like 2 sides of my business. I have my agency. I started it next month will be 18 freaking years, which does not seem possible because I'm like, how am I old enough to have a business for 18 years? And it's my second like full career after I did like a lot of school, law school on top of college, and then 4 years of litigation. And then here I am. Okay. So, when I first started my agency, it was moving away from law. My why was being in charge of my time. It was doing something that lit me up and, helping business owners that I believed in. It was building up businesses as opposed to, taking them down through expensive, protracted litigation that was messy and ugly and gross. And that was my why then. Now I have 2 sides of the business. Like I said, I have my agency, and those reasons are still there. And also now I'm a wife and I'm a mom. And so I want to be inspiring to my family. And I know I am because my husband left his corporate job and started his own business, and he's never been more satisfied in his career. And he's going through a lot of ups and downs, but he loves it and he wouldn't trade it for anything. He wouldn't go back to the like stability of a job. And we all know it isn't totally stable because the economy is like, so if you're going to ride that roller coaster anyway, make it your own thing you're building. And of course, wanting to be an inspiration to my kids so they see, first of all, women are strong, women are leaders, women can be entrepreneurs, women can be, recognized by national, international publications. Hi, Queenie. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in ages. It has been a long time since you've been here. Like years, but hi, welcome. Nice to see you again. So I want my kids to see that women can have it all. Women can be breadwinners. I know, it's nice to see you. All the things, right? And I want them to see, follow your dreams. You can make it happen. You can do whatever you want. And now with the coaching side, I want to share what I know how to do so that anybody that wants to shortcut the process, have similar results, have it all their way too with family and business, make great income, do work they love, have an approach that's going to help them fast track outcomes and build their business faster. That's my why. It is impacting as many women. I mean, I know I have men in our community too, but impacting as many women in the world as possible with what I know how to do so they can have a similar outcome, get there faster, make more money, save their sanity, whatever it is that they are looking for. I can share what I know to help them have that impact. That's my why. And then when it comes to my values, this just came up. This is what I was going to mention, and I mentioned it on a coaching call last week, but I had a prospective client come along, the most wonderful woman, not a direct competitor to one of my clients, but in the same space with LED devices. One, my current client, is like aesthetic masks and whatnot, and the other one is like mood boosting and fat burning and cell regeneration, more like on your body. But I still felt like it was too close. And I felt like my values lead me to a place where my client relationships and being a person of integrity is the number one most important thing. And the client that I would go and ask the client and say, hey, I have this new opportunity. Do you feel it's a competitor? My issue was that I learned everything that I know about LED technology, and my client, I learned it through my client, and that same client has studies that they've conducted, independent research, and they have FDA clearance to make certain claims about wrinkles, firmness, anti-acne. That's a really big deal. So if I'm going to go tell the media, oh, this company can make these claims because they're FDA cleared, and then I'm going to go pitch the same type of product that doesn't do their own. I mean, they might still be effective, but they're leaning on general LED studies, not their own independent research that's been FDA cleared for them to make their own claims. So I'm saying this device is amazing because they have their own FDA clearance. And then I'm saying, but this device has LED also, so it's also great. It felt like, do you guys see what I'm saying? It felt like a direct conflict of my values as a communicator, agency owner, a connection to the media, and also a partner to my existing client. Yeah, thanks. Oh, hi, Allie. Hi. How's the babe? Yeah. So, Queenie, it to me just felt like I can't, and it was so hard because the revenue was really good. And the woman was so delightful. And I was like, this would be so easy for us. I mean, it was like at least 6 figures of annual revenue that I was like, I can't do it. So I shared that with a contact of mine who is thrilled. She got the work. She's so happy. And I know they're both going to be in a great position. But I also felt really good about, I know, it was really hard. I felt really good about making that decision that very clearly aligned with my, and honestly, Queenie, it wasn't that hard, because when something is out of alignment, that's the point of this, with your values, those decisions become very easy. And that's the place I want to get all of you to. This is what we focus on in Elevate, because these are where you get lasting changes and lasting impact. And you're not just making decisions willy-nilly on a whim. You're making decisions that will be connected to yourself, your agency, not just making decisions as they come and piecemealing, and then things are inconsistent. So gaining clarity on your why, and thank you for letting me share my recent experience and my why. And that's why all of you being here, I really do try to get to know everyone in some way. I recognize names. I try to know your businesses. If you're new on our calls, I ask, in our programs, I ask what your area of focus is. I want to make the right connections, right? I want to make everybody better by knowing what you're up to and how I can help you. That's important to me. That goes back to my impact. And it's very clear to me, and also people in our programs, if there's an issue or they need, something, we get it for them, because that just aligns really well with our values and our purpose. So gaining clarity on your why and your values, it does not have to be an hours long, soul searching, like sent from heaven above stroke of inspiration process. It can be very simple. Okay, so let's simplify it and do it right now. Grab a piece of paper or open up a Word doc if you're on your computer. If you're watching me on your phone, open up the Notes app and write down 3 of the most important things in your life right now. Allie, it could be your baby. Serena, it could be your relationship with your family, your mom. Tell her I say hi. It can be anything. The most important things in your life right now. And then 3 of them, right? And then jot down a few bullet points as to why they're so important to you. Family's important because you love them, but I want you to go deeper. Go beyond that. How do you support each other? How do they make you proud? How do you want to make them proud and inspired by you? And maybe what part of your relationship brings you the most happiness? When it came to my client, they pay really well. They're super rad. They're a leader in the space. They're doing amazing, cool things. We're working on a major, major collaboration with a celebrity-run skincare and beauty brand, over $1 billion brand. I'm trying to get visibility. Like, there's so much good stuff there. And I love the work. And I would not, it's like good income, but I love the relationship with the client and I don't want to jeopardize that. Oh, thank you. It's my little rocker mama. Yeah. Thank you, Jane. I appreciate that. I was just talking about the LED client conflict that you and I had discussed, and how when you know your values very clearly, those decisions become really easy. Walking away from the money, it's less important to me than knowing that I'm in alignment with my personal values. Okay. So, and my professional values. So thinking about the things you wrote down as your 3 things that are the most important to you, and then getting into the why, that helps you gain that clarity. And it has a real depth to it than just family. Like, yeah, we all know family is important, flexibility and freedom is one of my biggest, whys. And I have my reasons as to why it's so incredibly important to me. It helped me completely redefine my definition of success, my vision of success. having control of my time, working with who I want to work with. And that's why I'm so grateful I had that other career, because it gave me that comparison to say, I don't want that anymore. I clearly know that's not it. I don't want to work in an office. I don't want to, try to tear down businesses. I want to build them up. I want to be in control of my time. I don't want to have to go to the bathroom and be back in under a tenth of an hour, so I don't have to stop the clock, and account for the fact that I got up to get a glass of water and go to the bathroom and it was 7 minutes and now I have to stop the clock. Because if it's 6 minutes, then I'm under a tenth of an hour and I don't have to stop the clock. It's like so dumb to me. So that's why we do retainers for a million reasons, but that's one of them. So even just exploring a few of these things can help you gain that clarity on the importance of your values. And when you know that, things really click because decisions become easier. Your values are top of mind. You get to make decisions from a place of integrity, professional integrity, personal integrity. And I'm not saying you aren't there now, but that exercise, it's also a practice in gratitude. It's a practice in what matters most to you. And knowing that why will really drive you when things get hard. And running your business is not all like sunshine and roses, okay? So that's number one. And Jane, because you, I think, joined a tad late, it's getting clarity on your why and your values. And number two, focus on natural energy boosts over artificial ones. I say as I've been sipping my morning coffee, but I stop. I guess I'm a little late there, but I usually stop a little earlier. But we all love a good cup of coffee or tea in the morning, but it's not always the best way to get your energy. Caffeine leads to crash at the end of the day. And we want you to have consistent energy throughout the day. You don't want to show up to late meetings in the afternoon and be like, checked out or not your best self. You need to maintain that energy level, that stamina throughout your day as an agency owner. We have clients all over the world. We have clients we have someone in Singapore, and our calls are late afternoon just to manage the time. So it's the next day in the morning for them, and it's like 5 o'clock our time. I got to show up. I have to run those calls. I have to have energy. So you owe that to yourself. You're not going to have the stamina to make progress on your big picture goals in your business if your energy is always crashing out, after lunch or 3 o'clock, and you're doing these low impact tasks because it's all you can muster, instead of bigger picture focused energy that's going to help you grow and scale your agency. And ending days exhausted and burnt out doesn't leave you with that energy at the end of the day to deeply connect with your friends, your family, your kids, or focus on anything for yourself in the evenings. If I'm burnt out when my kids get home, I feel like I don't want to talk to them about their day. I don't want to help them with homework. I don't want to make them dinner. I'm just like, leave mommy alone. And it gives them this feeling of disconnection, and that their day, their school, the things they're excited about aren't important to me because I don't have the energy and the bandwidth to focus on them and just look them in the eyes. I don't even need to be really focused on my kids for more than like 10, 15 minutes at a time. And just that level of connection it's quality over quantity is what I'm trying to say in a very roundabout way. Looking at them in the eye, asking them a question that will get them to talk to me more than, how was your day? Good. Who'd you talk to? My friends. What did you do? I don't remember. Like getting into the things, like asking them specifics about what they're working on or what their friends are talking about, what they're doing. That takes energy. When my husband comes home, I want to hear about his day, and I want to be focused on him and give him that level of attention that you can only give when you are energized and consistently maintaining your energy throughout the day. And that's how you deeply connect with people. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can just be like, hi, how's your day? Basic, blah, blah, blah. But reminding yourself, I'm looking at you. I'm not on my phone. I'm not distracted. That takes energy. So to sustain your energy throughout the day and fully commit yourself to all of your goals, your responsibilities, the things you want, you need to focus on getting that energy from natural sources, right? Because caffeine has an energy crash. It takes more than just loading up on caffeine. And I love coffee. For me, it's more the ritual. I don't drink a lot. I drink like a cup a day, but I love holding the hot mug. I love when I'm driving my kids to school, having my travel. My husband makes it for me. He puts it, gets it ready so that I just spilled all over myself. So that I have something in the car, and it's like a little gesture of love. He brings me a cup of coffee in bed if I'm not driving the kids to school. It's just a little gesture of love. That's more what the coffee is for me. I get my energy from other ways, and here are some natural sources. This is where I'm talking about your diet, exercise, sleep. And I know this advice is everywhere, and the reason why is because it actually works, and it's really important. So if you're feeling like you're not getting your best sleep is a big topic around here. If he's not sleeping, I don't sleep. I've talked about sleep a lot on here. I talked about our individual comforter sleep pods because he takes the blankets and it wakes me up, all of that. But exercise, diet, and sleep, if you're not at least focusing on these in some meaningful way, I'm not saying only eat green vegetables. And no, it's starting small and not overwhelming yourself completely by overhauling your whole nutrition plan and your exercise schedule. That doesn't work. I'm not here to tell you get your ish together, get it all together all at once. I am not super consistent with exercise. I have a few things that I do, but I do walk the dog in the hills, up and down the hills for 45 minutes a day. And that has a number of benefits for me, from breathing fresh air, getting my body moving, listening to a podcast that will inspire me, being out and about with the dog, which she loves, and connecting with neighbors and things like that. I think it's all really healthy, but that's a consistent thing that I'm doing. Focus on one area at a time. And I think the number one place to start would be around sleep. And that is super important to me. I love optimizing my sleep. And here's a couple ways that you can do it. And if you're not doing this, try starting tonight and give yourself a week. Okay? And see what happens. So try switching your phone alarm out, move it out of your room. So a lot of people will say to me, well, I use my phone as my alarm. Get a clock, get something else that'll wake you up. Ideally, when you get into a good routine, you will wake up naturally at the same time. I wake up at the same time every day. It's right around 7. Today I was up at 6:15 because my dog needed to go out. Which was very odd for her at that time, but I just wake up at that time, mostly because maybe my husband starts stirring. I know his iWatch or whatever Apple Watch will start to make a noise or vibrate, and usually his hand's under my pillow, so I feel it. But I wake up around 6:45, 7 every day. Eventually, you may not even need an alarm clock, but get an alarm clock on Amazon for $10 and just move your phone out of your room. Don't look at your phone right before bed and right when you wake up. This is going to seriously improve your sleep quality and your energy levels. And I know I'm not the first person that's mentioned this or told this to you. It's just, there's nothing but downside to it. Really, there's no upside. The news comes on, you get alerts from CNN or whatever, and it's stressful. Emails come in and then you just keep thinking about like, oh, I got to get back to this person. Um, what did I say? What did I say, Jane? That was super cool. I missed that. I don't know when that came in. So, move your phone. Give yourself a week. If a week is hard, give yourself 3 days and pay attention to how you're sleeping. Don't look at your phone an hour before bedtime. Pay attention to how you're sleeping and don't look at your phone when you wake up. Give yourself you don't need to have this whole like involved morning routine, but don't look at the phone and get that stressful news or those email alerts of like all the things that everybody else demands of your day. Oh, thank you. One of my favorite designers is Nina Bing. I think she makes this jacket too. Can you see? Wait, Nina Bing. And she's like super rock and roll mama. I love. I try to be cool, Jane. I really do. Tell my kids because they don't see it. They're just like, yeah, mom, whatever. I have like almost 13-year-old and almost 11-year-old boys, and they're just like, yeah, mom, whatever. So I'm like, I really am cool, you guys. You don't know. I just had a call. I guess I can announce it now. It's not like a big deal, but I am an ambassador for Prowly. So I have a deal with them, and they're based out of Poland. And I had a call with them earlier this week, and it was like, how did you guys even find me? And thank you. I'm so excited. It's like a 5-figure deal, you guys. Like, that's so cool, right? So we'll be sharing promotions with them and a lot of the features and benefits. It's super, super cool platform. I'm very impressed with it. And that's why I went with them. But I was like, where did you find me? And my contact there was like, I actually, somebody came into my university in Poland, like Warsaw, when I was in undergrad, talking about PR, and they were going through experts that had been featured. Thank you. They were going through experts that had been featured on Forbes, and they pulled you up and talked about your strategies or whatever. And I remember like looking into you and finding you. Oh, Queenie. Sure. But no, she was so funny. She was like, and then when I got hired out of school, I've been following you for a while. And when I got hired out of school, I presented you as an option. And she said everybody was like, yes, that's a great suggestion. Like they had known who you were. And I was like, what? Seriously? Like Poland? Like that's so cool. And she said to me, you're very popular in Poland. I was like, I am. So all day yesterday, my husband was like, do you know mommy is very popular in Poland to the kids? And they're like, so I just told Kevin, I'm like, oh my God, they were so cool. When I talked to Prowly, they said like people in Poland, know who I am. And then he just ran around and told the kids. So I'm like, see, kids, I'm cool. I'm internationally cool. Yeah, anyway. So we've got our 3 areas for natural energy: sleep, diet, exercise. And I've asked you to focus on sleep. Will you, Jane, Allie, Serena, Queenie, will you commit to me, and whoever else is here, a couple more people, to trying that for 3 nights? Move your phone out of your room. If you need an alarm clock, go order one on Amazon Prime. Go to your local CVS, whatever it is. Get one for $10. It's not a big deal. And get your phone out of your room. If you use it as an alarm clock, that's an excuse. If you use it to listen to meditation, put it in your bathroom and put on headphones that are Bluetooth connected. You don't need to have it right next to you. They also sell sleep masks with like super soft, comfortable headphones kind of built into it that are Bluetooth connected. So I know all the excuses. You can easily put your phone away. If you use it for meditation, you can still put the phone away, have it Bluetooth in the bathroom right next to you. Allie is saying, I'm trying, but it's so hard with the baby. I know it is. But you can move the phone unless it's like your baby monitor, in which case, I don't know. Oh, you just don't look at it. I have an alarm clock with an outlet so I can plug my phone in right next to me. Move that phone, Jane, out of the room. and give yourself 3 nights of 1 hour before bed, not looking at the phone. And when you wake up, not rolling over first thing to grab the phone and getting bombarded with emails, which are literally other people's demands of your time, prioritizing their needs over your needs and trying to get your attention. And it's also, the news comes in and it's never great, honestly. Like, you can, get your news when you're up and alert and not, first thing in the morning when it's going to just suck the life out of you. Going to bed earlier, and I've been doing mommy and me yoga before the day, and so helpful. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah. Okay. I said that one. Okay, that was 2. 3, oh my God, guys, I love this topic. I'm just going to keep going. Develop a more confident and courageous mindset. Okay, you're like, courage, whatever. Courage isn't just what the cowardly lion needed. And I love The Wizard of Oz. I maybe have seen it 400 times. Going to bed earlier, reading, like if you're going to read before bedtime, use a paper book or a Kindle with that light turned down as much as possible. It's not blue light. Blue light tells your brain, get up. It's morning time. Here's the sun's coming in. Blue light is like brain alert. Kindle is not that type of light, but turn the light all the way down anyway. Reading will really help you wind down. Don't read like a horror novel or anything like that. Or even business books. I read them, and sometimes my mind is like, how do I work this in to like how I can help my business or the community? So sometimes I just need to read like just mindless, novels or whatever, and sleep a little bit better. But I know I sleep better when I'm not watching TV before bed and I'm reading. So also going to bed earlier is really, really helpful. Okay, back to developing a courageous mindset. Having a confident mindset means being brave. And it means going into tough situations, being ready, feeling prepared, knowing that you're going to be top of your game and be able to react the way you want and say the things you want. Having courage and facing your fears, being confident means that you're going outside of your comfort zone. Maybe you're taking leaps of faith, knowing that you'll put in the work and you'll make it happen. You're going to succeed. And you have to be courageous and confident in your home life also. It is a really important aspect of solving conflict. Sometimes my kids will be like yesterday, we have a rule in our house, no screen time during the week. And I'm having a little issue with my younger son who thinks he's above the law. He is like doing little things, little violations of the rule to test, right? Like no screen time during the week unless it's for schoolwork, which means he goes on Google, but then he found like an 8-bit, not an actual game, but like a little Google game. And so he's like, technically I'm on Google, which you said is okay for school, and I'm not doing screen time because I'm not on Roblox. Okay, so he's testing, and my other son is like, he's playing a game. Whether it's an 8-bit game on Google or not, he is not using it for school, and he's playing a game. And now he's confused because he's like, I thought there's no games and no screen time during the week. So one of them is testing the rules, and the other one is testing me for consistency and parenting. And he's like, why isn't he going to be punished? He should be and my son, my older son who's on the spectrum will just go over and over and over and in your face until you like address it. And I wasn't ready to deal with that conflict. I just was like, I don't know, I'm not ready, and so thank God I had the energy to be like, okay, let me gather my thoughts. I need to be consistent. I need to show this one, and knowing that I was going to punish the younger one and take away screen time during the very little time that we actually do allow it, which is Fridays after school and 3 hours on the weekends, which is really hard to stick to, but we're trying. I'm really trying. He was going to bitch and moan and become honestly, like a real asshole about it. So I needed the energy. I needed the courage to like stick with my guns when he started complaining and saying that's not fair and all this stuff. You know, it's important for solving conflict at home, also building your dream life and fostering those deeper, meaningful connections. It does take that courage and that confident mindset. Elevating your life, it takes a lot of effort. It doesn't just happen. You have to be intentional. You have to know what you want. You can't achieve those bigger goals if you're constantly backing down when things get hard. You know, it's just sometimes it's, you know, things are hard and you might be like, I don't have the energy, or I don't know that this is going to work out exactly the way I want it to. So I'm just not going to deal. You know, that takes confidence and courage. And you don't just develop those skills and those traits in yourself overnight. You have to put in the work to develop and to grow them. Can you guys tell I'm really passionate about this overall topic? So if there's anything that you've wanted to pursue for a while, but you have been maybe too scared to finally go after it, is there anything like that that you can think of in your life? You know, it could be something big like moving to another state or moving out of the country. It's a big deal, right? Or launching a new business venture, or something smaller like adding a certain service to your agency, overhauling your personal style. Two things for you. One is we are going to be seriously exploring adding affiliate program management as a service with our clients. Jane introduced me to Zlata, who manages affiliate for, you know, freelancer almost, and is an expert, has a great Substack. We're chatting today at 2:00 to talk about that. But I'm also building out an affiliate master program for our community so we can learn that. It's hard. It's scary. Like I've never actually tactically and tangibly done it myself, but I know it's important. I know the community needs it. I want our program to be better than anything out there from the perspective of an agency owner, to add a new stream of revenue. So we have to teach you how to sell it. We have to teach you how to manage it. We have to teach you what the pricing could look like and how to talk to your clients about it and why they need it, how it works into the PR efforts you're already making that will enhance them. We have to talk about all these things. And it's a little intimidating, honestly, because it's a whole new thing that I'm learning. But I know I need to add it to our agency, and I know I need to teach it to you guys in this program. I'd love to hear from you. What do you think of that idea? I've been working on it a long time, but that is a goal for this year, probably done the early second half of the year. And then overhauling your personal style. So I just checked into an app called Index, INDYX. It's very, very new. But remember in Clueless how Cher had her like virtual closet and she would scroll through her items and then like piece outfits together? This does that for you. And I actually have someone coming over tomorrow to photograph 100 items from my wardrobe. And then they remove the background and they put it in there and catalog your wardrobe. And then they will personally style your items together so that you have more than one way to wear things. The best closet. Yeah. Cher's thing was like, we all thought we'd have that by now. But I'm going to try it. It's not very expensive. And because it's new, it's like $300 for them to photograph 100 items and then also do that personal styling aspect of it. So you could be like, I'm going to a gala and I need to accessorize this outfit, whatever. I have a good sense of it already, but mostly I forget about things I own, or I'll keep wearing the same thing over and over the same way. And I'll never think of like combining things in another way. So overhauling your personal style, I am currently working on that. So back to taking out that piece of paper or the notes app, and we're focusing on developing your more courageous and confident mindset. I want you to write down 3 things that you can do right now that would help you become more confident in pursuing that desire. So think about, again, anything that you've wanted to pursue for a while. Maybe you've been too scared, or you think you're too busy and you don't have the bandwidth to put in the work. If it's moving, if it's redesigning your website, taking professional photos, doing like a branding photo shoot, whatever that 1 or 2 or 3 things is or are, write down 3 things that you can do right now that will help you become more courageous and confident in pursuing that thing that you want. Maybe it's researching, taking a new course, or chatting with a mentor for advice, or whatever it is. Write that down and go for it. Do it now. When else is there a good time to do it? You're never going to be less busy. You're never going to be, more interested in doing the thing than you are right now. It's never a good time. They always say, like, getting a dog. There's never a good time to get a dog. You just get a dog and you train the dog and then you have a dog. Or like having kids. You can talk yourself out of these things because it's like, I have this going on, I have that going. There's always something going on. It's like, I'm just very much like, it's now. Just got to do it and move forward. So that will give you that burst of courage and confidence that will help you move forward and pursue this goal. And that momentum, that energy feels really empowering. That momentum, it's like action brings momentum, and then momentum will help you get these things accomplished. And you're like, why did I wait so long to do this? Half the time I do things, I'm like, why did I wait so long? This was like so much better than I thought it was. I'm so happy it's done. And why did I talk myself out of this for so long? Okay, are you guys taking out your paper and doing these things, making the most of your time here with me? Write it down and write down 3 things you could be doing right now, and maybe share with me. I'd love to hear, like, what is a priority for you right now that you haven't necessarily done because you haven't felt the confidence or the courage or even clarity. Right? That's another thing we work on inside of the Elevate program is clarity. Did I say clarity here? Hold on. Yeah, clarity. That's clarity around your why and your values, but also clarity around your desires and your goals. That's really important too. So that's number 3, developing a more confident and courageous mindset. 4, focus on minimizing your distractions. So productivity is really important. We want to improve your productivity. We know this is really important for digital agency owners, but we are not going to give in to this BS hustle culture. Hustle hard, hustle. No, hustling sucks. Like, it's not sustainable. Constantly grinding out work, that will lead you to burnout. You cannot be an effective leader and an effective entrepreneur, the leader of your business, the leader of your team, and your clients need when you are constantly working from a place of overwhelm and stress. It does not work. Maybe short term to get you through something, but you cannot sustain that. You'll be burnt out. You'll hate your business. It's just not going to be. You'll be in a bad mood. It's not fun. So I want you to be productive in your professional life, your personal life, but what this looks like is up to you. Your time and energy are most valuable and productive when Ricky! Oh my God, I love that video that you did. Maybe there were multiple videos, but the one where obviously, I think if there was only one, you know which one I'm talking about, where you obviously talk about your video with your son going viral. And then, oh my God, I just got the chills all over my body, Ricky, like how you turned that into like an opportunity to serve. There's only one video like that, right? Will you link it here? Guys, don't navigate away from me because I want to be like this with you right now. But Ricky, you guys have to see what she did. It was unbelievable. She had a moment with her son. She just posted about his first day in kindergarten, and he didn't like a sandwich. He got off the bus and was like, that sandwich was trash or whatever he said. It was so cute and so honest. And she just posted it, and it went crazy viral. She was on national morning shows, and they got collaboration deals with brands and used that moment. It was like lightning in a bottle. Absolutely incredible to have an impact, to make an impact and use that for good, right? And as she said here, emailing my network to try to get referrals is something I'm a bit nervous to do. Let's explore that. Ricky, have you thought about joining Elevate? I think you would love it. And if you're interested, there's an application and we jump on a call, but it's starting pretty soon, but it's really awesome. And I want to understand your hesitation to reach out to your network. What makes you nervous about it? And if you can pull that video and link it here, I know it's on Instagram. It's amazing what you did. Amazing. I'm like truly in awe. I told you that. But okay. Managing your personal, professional life, whatever that looks like, it's up to you. And we know that your time and energy are the most valuable, the most impactful and productive when you're spending them on tasks and activities, responsibilities that are going to push you toward your goals and will align with your life's values. And that's why it's really important that we get clarity on your why and your values right at the outset. And then we know that the things you're doing personally and professionally are aligned with that. When things are incongruent or out of whack or out of alignment, or you're not living in self-integrity, grab that link. She just posted it. Watch it after. Just open the window and come back to it, because we're almost done here, and there's this one and one more, and then I'm donezo. And because I mentioned it, I'm gonna drop the link here if anybody wants to apply. And the price of the program is listed there. I promise you, it is so worth it. It's just amazing. Like, and people are charging like 10 times this for this level of coaching. Like, it's a certified program that I'm taking you through. Anyway, so we want goals to align with your life's values. One of the important values that I have in home is I want a peaceful, serene home environment. I want to optimize our home environment. And so I'm constantly looking for ways to like optimize. We have very little storage space. How can I optimize the storage or get rid of stuff so that there isn't just stuff coming out of every possible place and corner, things stacked up in the corners. My mom, who often watches my Facebook Lives, is probably thinking like, you have crap in corners piled up everywhere. I'm slowly making my way through these piles. There's always a purpose. I sell my things so that I can at least recoup some of the things that I've had over the years, the investment in them. But my son has ADHD, he's on the spectrum. Like, environment really has an impact on his mood and energy, and mine as well. So I know in my personal life, I want to use my time productively to align with that value of having a serene and optimized and peaceful, tranquil, beautiful, inspiring home environment. So I know that I'm going to spend time. I have like a list of stuff that I want to do. So look, this is my personal. Yesterday, I just like banged out my tasks. I had all these things lined up, and I went through them all, and also had to run errands. And I did like this major loop around my city where I hit, all the places I need to like return all the stuff I needed to return, to ship all my packages, to do some shopping at Costco, get gas at Costco. I did like a big old loop, and I banged out like 2 weeks worth of errands in like 2 hours. And I was just like, bam, bam, bam. And I came home and I'm like, I feel so good. I got it all done. So those things of optimizing my time and productivity, really important. So here again, pull out that paper or that note and list out 3 distractions, whether they're big or small, that are keeping you from getting more done during the weekday or spending more time with your family. And you guys, I'm connected to the charger here, but number 1, okay? This is number 1. If you have figured out how to put your phone down, how to not get sucked in the social media rabbit hole, how to not get, kind of buried on TikTok, then you're ahead of the game. But if you're going to list 3 distractions, I would imagine that your phone is probably number 1. We want to know what is keeping you from getting more done during the workday or spending more time with family and friends during time off, or maybe minimizing your time off. Like sometimes my friend will message me on a Friday and she'll say, "Hey, I'm not at work today. Do you want to grab lunch?" And I'll be like, Can I go grab lunch? Like, what is this thing that is probably going to take me away from connecting with my friend and taking a little time off or going on a hike or whatever? Is that activity more important than bonding with my best friend or spending, time with my husband, during the day when the kids are out? Like, what did I do that kept me from finishing my work in a timely manner? And I can almost always point it back to being on the phone, being on social media, going on a deep dive, like searching for something online that I need for the house or whatever. And that's a trade-off. You have to decide, is that distraction worth the impact, the sacrifice, the time away from other things that are important to you, like exercising or walking your dog or baking or things that you love? It's that trade-off. Do you want to spend an hour on TikTok, or do you want to spend an hour connecting with somebody that is really important to you in your life and deepening your relationship, your connection? It's all trade-offs. So if you put number 1, your screen, which probably we all will, you can cut down. I'm going to give you a tip on screen time. You can set timers. Like, I'm just going to check email for the next 10 minutes. And when that timer goes off, you move on. And that decision to move on and not be like, 1 more minute or 5 more minutes or whatever, that is you being in alignment with your values and self-integrity. Like you said, I am going to do this, and now I'm going to do it. You can block out time each day to focus on your email instead of just continuously getting distracted when a new email comes in. Like, close out of it entirely and then choose, once every 2 hours, like give yourself 10 minutes instead of just constantly being like, oh, somebody else needs my attention. I got to get right back to that. Unless your client's in the middle of a big launch or you do crisis comms and there's like something that's happening or they have to get ahead of it, you don't need to be on email all the time. You just don't. And we say, well, I'm in the service business, and you guys know I talk about after hours. You're not checking email and you're not getting back to client. I mean, you can check email, but don't get back to clients right away because you're training them to have access to you all the time. And you're giving them access to you on nights and weekends, which you should not allow them to have that level of access to you and your attention and your time. So, I mean, in my business, product-based PR, there's very little like urgent need unless I'm on a deadline, with an editor or something like that. But for the most part, I can check email a few times a day and quickly kind of, like I say, triage, but like sort it or forward it or move something along. Because otherwise, email serves as a way for other people to get priority over your goals because they send an email and now it has your attention. Nelson! Oh, Jane, wonderful. That's the number 1 thing I learned from this group. No response on weekends unless it's critical. And it rarely is. Very, very rarely. I had a client who like gave my cell phone number out to this person. I had to fire the client. They were fine, but this new person they brought in, I was like, I don't like you. I don't like how you're talking to me. I don't like what you're asking me to do, and I don't need to deal with this. I don't need you or your BS. So if he would email me and text me, or not email, he would text me, I would wait until the next business day or, weekend. I would go Monday morning or even a little like Monday early afternoon. And I would take it back to email. Like, just because you're barking at me over here on text doesn't mean that I need to respond to you. Like, I just didn't want him to think he had that kind of access to me. Sorry. I'm so happy you're here, Nelson. So, the other thing you can do to minimize your procrastination by using the Pomodoro method. You guys know what that is, 25-minute timer. They call it Pomodoro because of that tomato timer in the kitchen. And then you give yourself a 5-minute break. You have like super focused attention on one thing and just keep focused on it until it's done. Maybe it's 2 Pomodoros or 3 Pomodoros or whatever. You start to get really good at predicting how much time things will take you if you just focus on it and don't like context shift. So just taking one small action now to reduce your distractions can make a world of difference later as you continue working towards your goals. So think about what those distractions are. Stop making excuses for them. Yeah, we all are in PR and probably need to know what's happening on social media. But does that mean that you go on social and you get sucked into the rabbit hole mindlessly scrolling for the next hour, and then you're like, oh crap, it's been an hour of nonsense? Like, it's entertaining, it's fun. It's not like you go, wow, I wish I had that time back. You're like, I needed the distraction, but at what expense? So you gave yourself an hour on TikTok or Instagram, and now you have to finish the work you needed to do before you can wrap up your day, and you now don't have the time to cook a fresh dinner for your family, or you don't have time to like do that half hour of exercise before you wind down for the day. You know what I mean? Like, there's always a trade-off. So just be aware of those things that are distracting you and impacting your productivity, and we can work on improving that. The last thing, number 5, influence. This doesn't mean being a social media influencer. I want you to recognize that you have influence. You're not an influencer with millions of followers. Maybe you are. Or a celebrity who will spark major trends. Maybe you are. But you already have influence in your agency, whether you have 1 client, 5 clients, or you're running a multi-million-dollar agency. You have influence there. You have influence with your friends and your family. We all do. Having influence means people will listen to you. They're going to value your opinion. They're going to take it into consideration when they're making their decisions. It's like being a role model. I know I'm a role model to my kids. I know I'm a role model to my husband. For my friends that are like true, genuine friends and not like, what is she doing? Like, what is this little like business, oh, it's cute. You have a business. It's so cute. You do branding? Like, no, I don't do branding. For my friends that know what I'm up to, I'm a role model. I know I am. I want to set a good example. And I'm saying that you're role models too, obviously. You should know that. If you don't, or you've never thought of it, get on board. People are influenced by you. They're impacted by the things that you're doing. You have influence over your clients, your team, media. If you convert a pitch to a press win, you had influence over that editor. So you want people look up to you. Maybe they want to emulate you. So you want to set a good example, whether it's for your family, your kids, your significant other, or your team. So That's a big deal. When you have influence, it's very powerful. And you could choose to just not recognize it and not use that to your advantage. Not influence in the sense of like you're going to manipulate. It's not manipulation. That's not what I'm talking about. By being who you are increasing your influence. When you're intentional with the things that you're doing, you can have a positive impact or even a negative impact. Not that it's not what we want, but like, let's say you work and work and work and you burn yourself out. You have influence over the people around you that are seeing you do that. And they might say, well, having your own business, all I remember is my mommy was so stressed out. She was so burnt out. That influence you have over the people watching you is negative. So think about how you can positively influence people that are important to you and be a better role model. So right now on your same piece of paper, write down one person that you want to be a role model for, or a better role model. You might already know that you are. Who it is you want to influence. That could be a younger sibling. It could be somebody you're mentoring, somebody that's new on your team, your child, a friend, whomever. And brainstorm 3 reasons, not ways, 3 reasons why you want to increase your influence over them. Like I said, not manipulate, but inspire, motivate, mentor, get them on the right track, get them thinking in a different way, opening up their mindset in a different way. So you're thinking 3 reasons why you want to increase your influence over them, and then 3 ways that you can model that behavior or those practices that you want them to absorb, right? One of the ways that I want to have influence over my husband, not again, manipulation, but influence, is that I want him to learn how to disconnect, wind down, not let work impact his nights and weekends, because it has an impact on his sleep. It has an impact on his focus when he's, on the weekends, he's like stressed out, checking email, like replying to people all night, trying to be like, I got to move this forward. So one of the ways that I want to influence him is by showing him that you can still run a successful business. You can still be an incredible service provider without making yourself available, giving your clients unlimited access to you, not just your time, but your mental space in your head. Like, these people are living rent-free in your head. Do they deserve that? Probably not. So I'm trying to influence my husband in that way and show him, and also influence him as a dad and as a parent, because he doesn't see our kids' needs from their perspective. He sees them from his perspective and the impact it has on him and our family. He doesn't get to the kids' needs in the sense of why. Like, why are they asking for this thing? Why is my son challenged? He has misophonia. Do you guys know what that is? I've mentioned it before. It is where chewing sounds make you crazy. Like smacking your lips, chewing gum, talking with food in your mouth. It's not just like, oh, that's annoying. It is like level 10 disturbance in his mind, and then level 10 disturbance in our lives. My husband looks at that like, you're freaking annoying. It's mostly directed at him, my husband. My son's like, Daddy, stop trying. I try to look at it like, what's going on with him? he doesn't want to be like this. He hates it. This isn't a choice. And yeah, when he's upset, it's worse. That's because he doesn't have the control when he's upset or angry to really kind of keep it in line and to work hard to not let those things annoy him. When he's upset, he's just like, ah. So my husband goes, you can control it. Only when you're in a bad mood, then it's a big deal to you. But when you're happy, there's a reason why. He can't focus on the tools we've taught him for how to handle it. So my husband is constantly like, your issue is impacting us. And I'm thinking, what's going on with him? And how can we recognize what he has and help him work through it? Because he doesn't want to be like this. And so I have that influence over him, because I will say to him, he's open to it. And I'll say to him, think about it a little differently, because I can see it's impacting their relationship. It's having a major impact on our family dynamic. And so I can use my influence over my husband. He wants to hear my recommendations. I can have that influence by showing him how he can connect with our son better, to better understand what he's going through. And mind you, this isn't my son who's on the spectrum. This is my other son who's supposed to be like the easy one. Sometimes he's the harder one. He's also the one testing boundaries right now. I can tell he's a little scoundrel, this one. But anyway, you have impact over the people you love. You have impact over the people you lead in your team. You have influence over them. And don't look at influence like manipulation or anything. Look at it as a positive, powerful place to be in. Think of ways that you can, model the behaviors or the practices that you want these people to absorb, and seeing you do those things and the outcomes that come from them, showing versus telling, but realize that you do have that influence over people in your life, your community. It could be your church or religious community. It could be your friend group, your parent, your group of friends, through parenting, your family. I decided I host the holidays here. It's very low key. I'm not like a party planning, whatever, but everybody in my family brings something. It's just super easy. We eat on paper plates. It's like no frills. But I kind of realized like we'd been doing the same thing. There's never like a lot of fun around it. It's just food, getting together and food. And I thought, I want to have more fun. Fun doesn't just happen. You have to plan for fun. I know we all love to be spontaneous, but then in the moment you forget and whatever. You have to plan for fun. So I reached out to my brother's girlfriend and I said, let's form a fun committee. Let's have fun over Thanksgiving. And we came up with this really great game. You can play it on the Nintendo Switch. It's called Quiplash, Quiplash. And it's just like answering questions on your phone. It puts it up on the screen and it's coming up with a clever, funny answer. It was so much fun. We now play it with like all our friends. My husband went to Park City. He took the Switch so he could play Quiplash with his friends. It's just a funny way. Everyone laughs. It's like the kids are super funny. It got everybody laughing. It got us like to let our guard down, because it's my family, my husband's family, our siblings, my brother's girlfriend, her daughter, the whole deal. And this was like we all had fun. And so I realized I had that influence over my family as the host of this gathering, and I wanted to have more fun. I wanted it to be more than just a meal. And that was awesome. We had a great time. It was really, really fun. So all those ways that you can have an influence, recognize it, and start to, again, I asked you to think of one person who you want to influence and be a better role model for. I want my kids to see that I'm a fun mom. I tell them I'm a fun mommy, and it's like you can tell them or you can show them. And so I want to find more ways to show them, that you can be a fun parent. You can connect with your kids and your, Like, you don't just always have to communicate with them when you're asking them to do something or yelling at them because they didn't do it, which is what I felt our family was slipping into. And I don't want to have a family like that, you know? So this is just a taste of what I share in the Elevate program. It's like getting all these factors of your life and your business aligned. Simple, subtle, high performance habits you can implement that will stick so that you can, get more joy out of your life. You can feel a greater sense of impact and influence in your business, your community, with your friends, a deeper sense of purpose that will be like a through line in everything that you do. It's really life-changing. And I love teaching or, walking people through that process. So I know these changes are hard, but if you really break them down, they're very simple, and it's all about consistency. So in my Elevate high performance coaching program, we go step by step through a process to make these meaningful shifts in your life stick, to give them staying power. So if you're interested, you can apply now and get started on this journey. Here's the link again. Wow, this was long, but I love this so much. Anybody who's on here right now have any questions at all for me, or any questions about the program? Serena is enrolled. It's going to be really good, and I loved it. And the last group I brought through it, and I have trained my husband in this approach. It's a proven science-backed approach to, my husband, miss you already. So sweet. Science-backed approach to just transforming your life. It's really incredible. So anybody have any more questions for me? Anything? Sorry, I was moving something through the garbage can. I'll wait for 1 second. You guys are still here. Anything at all? All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. This one went a little late, but I love this topic so much, and I'm happy to share things that will get your ass in gear right now. Like I said at the top of the call. Oh, great. Thanks, Queenie. I'm so glad you checked into it. I said at the top of the call, like, we are now in this next phase, like the moments of like, well, the uncertainty. Oh my gosh, Nelson, I'm so happy you were here. You're never late. If you make it and we chat, you're on time, right? This time of uncertainty, or like what's going to happen, or like the new, we're in it. Now we're all moving forward, and it's all here. The economic uncertainty, COVID's endemic, it's just, we have to like get on with our lives. And I want to help you to do that. I want to help you, move into this next phase of your life where you can get it all aligned and feel a deeper, greater sense of purpose, higher levels of connection. Like, just for me, that's the biggest impact in my life, is the deeper connection, the intentional way that I show up for my family, for my kids, for my husband. They need a different version of me, and being consistent and showing up for them how they need me. It has led to deeper connection, better relationships, better communication. That's where I've seen the most major shift, because I've had pretty clear sense of purpose and vision for my companies and my life. I now have tools to work towards that, even with a greater sense of urgency and consistency. But for me, the biggest impact was my relationships, and like having more fun with my family, and being for my kids and my husband exactly who and what they need me to be, and constantly realigning myself to show up in that way. So if that sounds interesting to you at all, that's what Elevate is all about. And it's really incredible. And I would love to welcome you, and Serena would love to welcome you into the group. But anyway, that's what I have for you guys today. People are still wearing masks. I just went to Costco yesterday, Yeah, so many people. There's also like RSV and flu and other things going around. I get it. Like, no one likes to be sick. Nelson's saying they need to move on and get on with their lives. We do. We all need to move on and get on with our lives and get on with our business and stop being in this like wait and see, in this like reactive mode. You know, let's go. Let's go. Let's get it all firing on all cylinders again for us. You know, I've been ready and I've been implementing, and it's like, bam, you know, we just did a rebrand. We're now working on incorporating that. We have a lot of stuff out there, like all these websites. PR Couture has to be folded into Generation. Generation PR has to be updated. Generation Academy, all of our programs, all of our supplemental workbooks and things like that. It's a slow roll. Down the torpedoes. It's a slow roll, so I'm not like, oh my God, let's go. But I know it's happening. I love the direction. We have a plan. We're taking action. You know, I'm ready. Let's do it. And, you know, I'm not going to sit on the sidelines anymore and wait and see what happens. This is proactive mode. I'm not reactive. You know, let's go. Like, that phase is over. Let's do it now. You know, I'm thinking my kids like almost 13 and almost 11. My son will be 11, my younger one, in 7 days. Thanks, Queenie. I'm so happy you're here today. They're not babies anymore. They need a new version of me. I'm not going to have this opportunity to have influence. They're going to get their influence from their friends. So it's now or never for me to have an impact on them. Like, yes, they'll always be impacted by seeing me and what I'm doing and my relationship with my husband. But in terms of like those conversations and, you know, this is like probably the last like focused attention that I will have with them. So it's like, it's go time. I'm also doing the drums. I don't know if anybody saw my Instagram. My drum set's right there. I've got my kit. I'm teaching myself how to play the drums. I love it. I have committed to 15 minutes a day. It's so fun. I love hitting stuff. I'm just like, I love music. I love to like, you know, learn a new skill and master it. So that's my skill this year, is learning the drums. I don't know why. It's just like, I want to learn how to play the drums. Feel like I'd be good at it. Nelson says, do as Nike says and just do it. And don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness, are my two favorite sayings. Yeah. You got to go for it. There's no better time than now. There's no more ready. There's no, you know, let's do it together, you guys. Like, it is time. Let's go. If you want to have more energy to connect with your family, more energy in your business, I don't want to feel like the moments with my family are a drag, or that I'm not enjoying the simple conversations or the connection we have when my son, I mentioned the other day, was like learning ballroom dancing in school. And for some reason, he's like really into it, like in terms of showing what he's learned. And so I was like, instead of showing me, will you teach me? And we had this incredible like half hour of bonding where we held hands, and he was like, the girls in school don't want to touch the boys, so like nobody really holds my hand. We had this incredible bonding moment, and he taught me all of his moves, and I just like smiled and looked him in the eyes, and we had a great time. And that was a great opportunity where I could have also been like, I'm really tired. I don't want to do this right now. I don't have the energy. I don't really care. Or also not having that understanding of the connection that we have and who he needed me to be in that moment. He needed me to be an interested mom. And instead of just paying attention to him, I said, teach me. And now I got to be interested in something he's interested in. I got to connect with him. I got to look him in the eyes for half an hour. I got to like touch his hands and be like, wait, let's do it again. Let's try it again. I'll never forget that. And I hope he will remember it too. But it's showing up for yourself and things and the people and what matters most to you with the energy, the focus, the influence, the courage, the productivity that is needed for you to get the most out of your life. So I'm here for you. Thank you guys so much for being here today. If you have any questions about Elevate at all, hit me up on Instagram or send my team a message, support@Generation Academy. I hope I see you guys apply, and we'll get on the phone and walk through whether it's the right fit for you and what you're looking for. That's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Have a good one.